There are places you visit, and then there are places that seem to ask you to slow down. Batanes was one of those places for us. For years, I only knew Batanes from what I saw on television or social media, the hills, the cliffs, the ocean. I've always wanted to see it for myself. But it's not exactly the kind of trip that you can easily take anytime, so it took us a while. And finally, we made it. We spent a week exploring Batanes, and these are some of the places and moments that stayed with us. One place I really wanted to see was Fundación Pasita. I've seen this place so many times in photos, and honestly, I really wanted to stay here. But it was way beyond our budget. So for this trip, we decided to just come here for lunch instead. And honestly, I'm glad we did. The place is beautiful, the views are amazing, and you really get to appreciate how peaceful it is up here. So maybe someday we'll come back and actually stay here. But for now, lunch was good enough. We spent 2 nights around North Batan, and these were some of the places that really stood out to us. Basco Lighthouse. We actually went to Basco Lighthouse twice. The first time we took a tricycle, the second time we walked for around 20 minutes from the town proper. And honestly, I like this one better. For me, I haven't really experienced the place if I've only seen the tourist spots. I like walking around the community, seeing the houses, the streets, and just getting a feel for how people live. And of course, Bayang Rolling Hills. This is probably the Batanes view I've seen most on television. So finally seeing it in person was a little surreal. And yes, it really is that beautiful. Definitely one of those places you shouldn't miss when you are in Batanes. From the green hills, we went to a completely different landscape, Balugan Boulder Beach.
Nice one!
Instead of sand, you get these huge volcanic rocks along the coast, and we happen to be here around sunset. If you can time your visit around sunset, I think it's worth staying a little longer. The combination of the rocks, the waves, the changing light was beautiful. After North Batan, we moved further south. We stayed here for 3 nights near the Honesty Store and House of Takay. And I think this was where we really started slowing down. And these are some of the places in South Batan that I think are worth putting on your list. Tayid Lighthouse. This one is in South Batan, in Mahataw, overlooking the Pacific. And I think what I really liked about this place was the walk going up to the lighthouse. It's such a beautiful setting, and from here, you get this incredible view of the Pacific and the surrounding landscape. Definitely one of those places I wouldn't want to miss in South Batan. And then, Marlborough Hills. This was definitely one of the highlights of our South Batan trip. We actually came here twice. Very idon zulweta mo ako moment. Just look at this. Except, it was so windy when we went. I was trying so hard to get that romantic movie scene here, but Batanes had other plans. And yes, this is what happened after. Alapad Hills was another place that really stood out to me. The green hills, the rock formations, and the Pacific all come together here. And of course, we had to take the iconic Alapad photo, right in the middle of the highway. There weren't many vehicles passing when we were there, but still, this is probably the buwis buhay photo we took in Batanes. Worth it for the photo? Definitely. We also stopped at Mochong Viewpoint. We had already seen so many beautiful views, but somehow I still wasn't tired of them. And then we went to the Spring of Youth. Batanes is surrounded by water, but surprisingly, there aren't that many places where you can just comfortably take a dip. So we got here. Of course, we had to swim. The spring has cold, clear water and overlooks the coast. And there's also the beach right beside it. It's actually Jura Beach, near the fishing village of Jura. And if you want to do something a little different from the usual viewpoints, this is worth checking out. Of course, we saw more than just the landscapes. We visited churches, historical sites, ruins, the Japanese tunnel, House of Takai, and a lot of little places in between. We only had a week here, and obviously that's nowhere near enough time to really know what it's like to live in Batanes. But I think I understood something about why people love this place. It's the pace, the quiet, the space, the feeling that life doesn't always have to move so fast. And somewhere during the week, I started thinking, maybe this is a place I could live in. Of course, I know it's not that simple. Batanes is home to the Ibatans, and I think that's something we should respect. So maybe Batanes isn't a place for us to live in, but it can be a place we come to, slow down, and appreciate. And I'm grateful that we got to experience it this way. Next, we're heading to Batan Island.